Hello, friends. I'm jumping on right now because I need to ask, is anyone else tired as fuck from the past couple of days? So, what's interesting is that I'm recording this on Thursday, August 6th, and I want to say Tuesday, Wednesday, and today. I could tell the energy, um, like earlier in the week, is very optimistic. It felt good. There was a lot of energy, and then kind of as the week went, it was like boom, hitting walls of just complete exhaustion. And what was interesting is that I've talked to probably five different women in five different areas in the United States. And even some were texting me like, is there something going on with the Schumann residents? Like, where the energy is? Like, I am so tired. So I decided to jump on and talk about this right now. I don't, first and foremost, this isn't going to last forever, but I think there's some key notes that we need to take care of or just pay attention to as we move through the rest of August and Leo season. First and foremost, we are in eclipse season. Our first eclipse will be a total solar eclipse on the 12th when we have the dark moon of Leo. For us in America, it will be a partial eclipse, but for other places, it will be a total solar eclipse. So we're already in those energies. So that happens on the 12th. A few days before that, on the 8th, is the 8/8 Lionsgate, as people love to talk about. And that is a portal that we talk about dealing with the star Sirius being in alignment um, with the Sphinx and the pyramids in Giza. So, and it's important to know these energies. They're energies, right? So it's not exactly right at this time. You know, things can be exact, but the energy is out there, right? And so I do believe we're already picking up on that. The other thing to remember is that the lunar nodes have shifted. So North Node is now in Aquarius, South Node is now in Leo, and they will be there for the next 18 months. And so they went from the lunar nodes went from cardinal signs into fixed signs. And when we go into fixed energy, it's a completely different energy than when we work with cardinal energy or mutable energy. Fixed energy, it's just that it's fixed. And what we're doing right now, though, is we're building on a new fixed energy because we are coming out of that age of Pisces and into this age of Aquarius. And even that, you know, Pisces is mutable and mutable water, right? So that's a lot of movement. And then moving into a fixed sign where it's not moving at the same rate or the same speed as a mutable sign can be really jarring. And then those nodes coming out of cardinal energy, which is initiating, moving things into the fixed energy, um, can be extremely jarring. So understand we're moving into these fixed signs of Aquarius and Leo. The way that I see the fixed energies is they're like temples, and we go there because it's a supportive energy that understands what it is. It understands its job. Um, and because we are moving out of, you know, basically patriarchal norms, these fixed energies that have been in place are becoming new because there's no energy left for that old story. And so these new temples that we're building um upon like I would say like ancient truths or ancient beliefs, but like truths, like natural truths, like the natural order of the world kind of truth. Um not so much like a human theory, right? But you know, the natural order of things. And so while that's always been there, we haven't been really looking at it or working with it or honoring it, right? But now we're moving back into a time where we are, which honestly will make things more simple for us. But until we get into that rhythm of these quote unquote truths, for lack of a better word, It can seem hard, right? It seems unfamiliar on one hand. It seems difficult at the beginning, but then once your rhythm starts to get into these new slash ancient truths, um, things become easier, things become more copacetic, things make sense, right? And so we are in this time of change and time of shift. And that can be exhausting, right? For lack of a better word. Plus the idea that it's this time of year where we're going back to school. Um, so, where I live in New Orleans, all the new students are coming in for Tulane and Loyola and Xavier, and so they're real excited. So there's that new energy coming in that now I got to navigate. But also just like children going back to school in their normal schools, and so in that energy, in the way that we work with that, it's going to feel different than the way we worked with it in the past. And this isn't like, oh, I'm going to be exhausted for the next, 16 years. It's just this idea that there we are in this time of change. And the way I think the best way to work with this is to be extremely present. Okay. Really just get done what you can do right now. I was talking to a woman and she was like, well, my daughter's going back to school and I got to make these appointments for her. And the earliest appointments they have is right when school starts, you know? And I don't want her to go, right when school starts. But then I was thinking, and look, I ain't got kids, so you guys can be like, well, I can tell you why, Jamie. But I was thinking, why not just make the appointments and go? Like, I get it's like right when school starts, but like, it's right when school starts. So why not just get it done and out of the way? And I think that, and this is just me giving unsolicited advice, you guys, but kind of in that rhythm, if it's, obviously use your own discernment. But if that's the time and you can get it done, just kind of roll with it, kind of work with it. Obviously, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But try to work with because the nodes are in fixed signs. This total solar eclipse is in a fixed sign. I love this wild magic energy of eclipses, which I'll talk about later on. But like the idea when working with fixed energy is if it can be right then, let it be right then, and look, and if it can't, it can't. You guys don't get too caught up in all this shit. But the idea is see what you can make stable, see what you can make work make sense, and the idea is if it's, if you try this out and it doesn't work, then you kind of apply, or you switch it around. But we're in a spot right now where things kind of need to be a little bit stable. And even for myself, I noticed the other day I got money out of my savings account and I was like, look, I'm putting this X amount of money into my bills account and then I'm not gonna freaking look at it. It's going to take care of itself and I'm going to be done. And I felt really good about that, right? You guys know my lifestyle, so it wasn't millions, but not yet, right? But the idea was I do have this money saved up. I can put it right here. It can take care of this. Now I don't have to think about it, which is going to allow me to be more present and work on the things that I want to work on, right? And so it's just that kind of energy instead of like, humming and hawing and like bringing out like, I don't know, should I just be like, okay, if this is it, this can be it. Let's move on. If this is it, this is it. Okay, let's move on. Because if it's not working, you're going to notice. Okay. And you have to remember that Uranus, that rules Aquarius, is now in Gemini. And Gemini likes to weigh the facts, either or, right? But also with Uranus in there, if you're constantly spinning and like, I don't know, should I, right? It's going to bring that revolution to like maybe you make a decision, right? Instead of constantly like, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe we just make some decisions. Maybe we just kind of set this as the roadmap for the next 6 weeks, see if it works. If not, okay, move on. Because in Leo season, especially because it's fixed fire, it wants you to stay inspired, right? But it doesn't want you to burn out. It doesn't want you to flame out. So it wants a little bit more of a plan that makes sense so you could stay inspired instead of just being like, this is the bonfire. Wow, that looked good. It was so warm. Now I'm out. It doesn't, Leo doesn't want that. That lower Leo, remember, is very egotistical, doesn't see the big picture. Leo comes from the heart, understands what a healthy ego is, understands everyone has one, right? And that's okay. But it's really that heart energy where it makes its decisions because Leo knows it can do it, and Leo knows you can do it, right? It's a really beautiful, uplifting. Um, Go get them like pep talk energy that I love with my little lions. And so, and I can tell you it's fucking Leo season because everyone's letting me know they're back, baby. And so that is also great. Um, but remember, humility is also part of being a higher Leo. So just gonna throw that in there as well. So, um, another thing that I want us to think about really clearly, especially being empaths, is that if you're feeling really tired, I would suggest that you say the words, I'm transmuting any tiredness that does not belong to me, because we are going to be absorbing a lot of exhaustion because people are exhausted. People are exhausted with the economy, the administration, prices, the heat. Like just here in Louisiana, we found out the governor has all these NDA signed. He wants to put radioactive garbage in the Gulf, the things with money. Okay, that's exhausting, right? And even though, especially for people that are on the front edge or way showers or edge walkers, however you guys see yourself, we guess light being star kids, whatever. Um, and if you say, I'm really empathetic, like I absorb a bunch of energy. Okay, you need to make sure you're not absorbing everyone else's energy. 9 times out of 10, you're probably aware and pretty good at it. But sometimes it's sneaky like this. So if you're feeling exhausted for a period of days, and also you guys, this is coming after you make sure you're drinking plenty of water, taking all your freaking vitamins, your supplements, you talk to your doctor, all those normal things that you should be doing first. I gave my friend an element the other day and she was like, that lit my light up. She's like, what's in there? And I was like, magnesium and potassium. She was like, that's it. I needed more potassium. So there's that too. Okay, so make sure you got all those things checked off in your life, as well as making sure you are saying, I'm transmuting any tired energy that does not belong to me, because we want to make sure we are staying in our energy, we're keeping our energy protected, we're working with what we want to work with. Because until we get like super good at it, I mean, we're going to be, feeling the other energy out there, right? So that is my advice to you guys. Try to stay present. Make sure you're taking all your vitamins, drinking plenty of water. Transmute any energy that does not belong to you, especially if you're feeling tired. Transmute any tired energy. I transmute any tired energy that does not belong to me. I would say that. I would try to see where I could keep things or where I can make things kind of automatic, where I don't need to keep an eye on things or set like a little bit of a plan. And then also just being okay if this is what it is for right now. If I have to get these appointments right now, great, they're out of the way, we can move forward, right? If I have to do this right now, and again, use your own discernment, you guys, you know your lives better than I do. But it is kind of the idea of maybe not hemming and hawing so much, but just being okay to stay present in order to get things done and to move forward. So I hope this helps. I hope you guys aren't too tired. I know, I mean, like the other day, I mean, it was like a kick in the crotch. I was like, I got to go lay down for 20 minutes. So just be aware of that. Happy eclipse season. These are my kind of favorite seasons because I love wild magic. Happy 8/8 portal. I will be making a video soon for the eclipse slash dark moon coming up on the 12th. So I'll see you guys then. Till then, take care of yourselves.